Hello, everybody. We're going live. I'm cooking. I'm not actually cooking. I'm actually cutting up some peppers right now. Picked a bunch of peppers out of the garden today, and now it's time for the thrill of cutting them up so I can store them, so I can have a bunch of peppers for this winter. That's the whole point of growing a bunch of peppers, is you can put a bunch of them up. So that's what I'm doing here today. I picked all what you see here. I got these, and I got these. I picked these this morning, and now I get to cut them all up. That's what I'm doing, and I still have a few left in this bowl that I gotta cut the tops off of. Sometimes I use a food processor, sometimes I don't. You gotta do what you gotta do. I think the food processor just cuts them too small. I don't really like to put them through the food processor. It does take longer to cut them by hand, but that's okay. They come out of the bag a lot easier when you're ready to use them like this. So that's what I usually do. It's more fun like this too. But you see, when they get like that, they've been on the plant for a while. They get those little lines on them. I've already filled up this scrap bucket and gave it to the chickens twice already. Just taking the tops off of these peppers. Some of them still have seeds in them. I'm going to have to go back and get the seeds out of them. But that's okay. I'm getting it done. And I won't have to pick peppers again for a while either. So that's the good part, I suppose. Now you see I put that in the wrong bowl. Darn it, not paying attention. Throw all my good peppers to the chickens if I ain't careful. Okay, getting down to the bottom of having them all topped off at least. Okay. Now I can get to the business of chopping them. See if I can do a few at a time. That would be nice. I know some people like to use the food processor, but to me it just cuts them too small, and then you can't break them apart easily. Now some people will use a food processor and then they'll put them in a pan and freeze them and then put them in their Ziplocs, but that's just like another step to me, so I don't do it that way. You gotta do what works for you. It works that way too. I mean, if that's what you like. Howdy, howdy, butt nuggets. How you doing, Brett? I'm glad you came to see me today. How are you today? What's going on in your neck of the woods? I looked at some of your old videos. I don't know if you've seen my comments on them or not, but I left you several comments on several of your videos and some thumbs up and all that good stuff. Hey, Michelle, are you making pimentage? She's asking. No. Divine Light says, I made a live. Well, go ahead, Divine Light. I need to make a pimentage, though. You know what? I looked that up on the internet and I could not find it anywhere. I couldn't find that word. It's something for the rest of y'all. I know Michelle knows what I'm talking about, but for the rest of y'all, and Michelle's my niece, by the way, y'all. Um, my family always made a dish called pimentade, and it was with peppers and eggs. So to me, that was probably a real struggle food. You see those recipes sometimes on the internet for struggle foods or depression foods. To me, pimentade is a real example, a real good example of a struggle food or a depression food because it's made with only eggs and hot peppers, which is something that a lot of people probably would have had during hard times or a depression. Chickens and a few little vegetable plants. I'll have to make it for y'all one day. It's actually very good. I couldn't find it on the internet either, she says. I love your channel. I've told my family about y'all to watch. Well, thank you, Divine Light. I appreciate it. It surely does take an army of angels to get one of these channels going. So any likes and shares and subscribes is very appreciated. But no, Michelle, I'm not making pimentade right now. What I am doing is I'm just cutting up a bunch of peppers that I got out of the garden this morning. I've already taken the tops off of them, and now I'm just cutting them up. I've been lazy today, Brett says. Tiny Farm Nuggets is our main channel. Oh, well, I'll have to go check that one out then. I didn't know. And you know, I did see that, but I wasn't sure if that was in association with y'all or not. Someone's asking where we're at. We're in the United States. It's some of the writing I can't even understand. I'm trying to get some of the seeds out of here. That's the scraps off of it, y'all. The tops and the seeds. And I done filled this up and brought it to the chickens twice already. I'm just cutting up some peppers. Someone just asked, they just came in. I'm not cooking right now. I'm cutting up some peppers and I am saving them for the winter time. So I'm just cutting them up to prepare them to save them. We already did our cooking and eating for the day. Actually, today for lunch we had leftovers. I had made a chili and some potato soup on Friday. And we ate that yesterday, and it was still enough left over, so we ate it today too. And tonight we'll probably just do sandwiches. Lately, we've been eating like our biggest meal at lunch, and then we'll eat like a sandwich or a burrito or something like that at night, because we made a bunch of burritos and froze them. And that does really good for a quick meal. And we like to just eat something like that at night. All last winter, when we grew collard greens and mustard greens, at night we would eat sandwiches and a bowl of those greens. And I can tell you, we were never more regular in our whole life. I guess y'all didn't need to know that, huh? Okay. From France. Well, welcome. Welcome from France. Nice to meet you too, Jay. Peace. And peace to you as well, Brett. How's Deborah doing? I hope y'all are all well. Some of these peppers are hot. I grew these little jalapenos, and the plants was full of them. And when they first started coming out, They didn't have any heat to them at all. Well, when I was in the garden today, I was like, well, they're red, they're pretty, I bet they're sweet. So I got me a bite or two, and guess what? They were hot. But they wasn't so hot that I had to run out of the garden and get a glass of water, thank goodness. But they were pretty hot. I didn't take another bite. That's how hot they were. And I spit out what I had in my mouth too. It was very hot, actually. But I know there's peppers that's a lot hotter than that. It just surprised me because when I had ate them or eaten them green, they weren't hot at all. Kind of like a banana pepper. Yes, love prepping burritos. And you don't need a plate. That's right. That's right. We did a bunch of them, and we eat them, like I said, we eat them at night. And then I had given some to my son and his wife, and they like them too. They eat them whenever, he brings them to work and whatnot. So we run out of them pretty quick. But one day, I want to say we had made like 80 of them. It was a lot. It was an all-day occasion, rolling burritos. But they lasted a long time. It's time to make some more. And the last time we went to the store, we bought some more of the wraps for them. And I don't know. I want to quit buying the wraps for them. I want to start making my own tortilla wraps because they're not that hard to make. I've seen people make them before. It's not a big deal. And it would have a lot less ingredients in it, I'm sure. Anything you buy, they put preservatives in it to make it last longer on the shelf so that they can sell it and leave it on the shelf as long as possible. But if you make it yourself, you don't have to put all that stuff in it, and you don't have to have those additives. So I've been wanting to make some. If I could ever get around to it. Takes me forever, y'all. Carne asada burritos are my favorite. So is Mr. East. He loves them. Okay, hold on, somebody. I remember Grandpa keeping a jug of fresh jalapenos under the sink. We would eat them with every meal. Uh-huh. Deborah is fine, thanks. We had friends Judy, Jules, and the big Italian over yesterday. Was nice. Okay, cool. Glad Deborah's doing good. You need a tortilla press. Bought one from Temu, but is tiny. LOL. Oh, that's a good idea. So it works good, Brett? I wonder if maybe I could look at them on Temu and figure out how to get a bigger one then, since you're telling me that they're tiny. Probably just have to check that out. But I've never even seen somebody use one of those. A tortilla press. I've seen people make them, and then they would have like the little dough, and they would stretch it out in some little circles, and then they would roll them out. But I've never seen anybody use a press for one. But it does seem like I've heard of that now that you're saying it. You have to check into that. Because rolling them out, the little ones, like I was saying, making those little circles and rolling them out, it sounds time consuming. So the press probably would make it go faster is what I'm thinking. So, you need to save time, right? It's too small, going to get and make a bigger one. A rolling pin works too. It's so they're so good. Even the ones you buy at the store, I take them and I have a gas burner and I turn the gas burner on. That's what I cook on, propane. So I take them and I put them over it on the grating on the stove and just keep turning it, and they start puffing up. Even the store-bought ones. I like them when they do that because they get brown and they have more flavor than if you just warm them up in a skillet. I don't know if y'all ever tried that, but I used to live across the road from some Spanish people, and that's what they would do. They would make theirs. Of course, they wouldn't buy theirs. They would make theirs, and then that's how they would reheat them on the stove. They would put them on that burner and turn them, and they would get kind of brown and they would puff up. So, I seen them do that and I ate them like that, so I know how good it was. And so that's just how I do mine now. It was very good. It gives it a whole different flavor than just heating it in a skillet. So if y'all never tried that, you can try it, but be careful because you can burn yourself. What I'll do is I'll show you. If you have something like this to grab it and turn it with so you don't get burned, that makes it safer. You don't have to have it. I've actually done it a lot of times just with my fingers, but I don't guess I should recommend that. I'm just saving some peppers right now. These are all peppers, and I'm just cutting them up small, and I'm going to put them in some plastic bags and put them in the freezer to store them. And I'll cook with them throughout the winter time until I'll cook with them probably next summer too, because my peppers really don't start coming in around here until this time of the year. Now this year, some of them did make more earlier than I've ever seen, but usually they don't come in until this time of the year, and they'll make for so many weeks and then that's it. So I have to gather as many as I can while they're making and put them up so that I'll have them to use, because I don't know if y'all bought or if y'all buy these any kind of peppers to cook with, but I find they're very expensive. Louisiana, not California. No, my husband did training in California, but that's the closest to California I can say of anybody that I know. But I'm from Louisiana. We have swamps here and expensive living. In Louisiana, there's more poor people, I would say, and I don't know, just more common people, plain people, not so fancy like California might be. That's how I think of California. And what I see on TV with California, they look like they have very high rents over there. I don't know how anybody could afford to live over there. Even rents here are high, but I was looking in the paper the other day and I actually saw $450 a month, and I thought that was cheap compared to what I had been seeing. No, I've never been to San Diego. All that's California, and it hardly ever snows here. We may get a little snow once a year, but it's not much. We don't have like skiing or anything like that. It's totally different. We don't get snow like that around here. Mostly it's hot over here, hot and humid. Right now I have the air conditioner on. It's probably close to 90 degrees outside. Our winters are something in that one I don't want. Our winters here are very mild, and our summers here are very hot and humid, and it's hot most of the year. Our winters are short, very short. The coldest parts of the year here is the end of December and January and February. That's our coldest months here. What about where you're at? Is it very cold there? Oh no, USA is not. Some places of the USA is cold, like up in the northern states, closer to Canada, like Minnesota and Maine, Alaska. Very cold there in the wintertime. But I mean, I haven't even been up there. Just because we live in the United States doesn't mean we've been all over the United States. I mostly have been just right here in Louisiana and just a couple of the other southern states that are neighboring to Louisiana. What is your atmosphere like over there? Is it hot or cold? Where are you at? You asking me all these questions. Where are you? SP. Where you at? Where is SP? Where are you? Answer me. India. Well, how's the weather there in India? I would. Y'all have a lot of mountains there, so I guess if you're in the mountains, it's cold. That's what I'm thinking. Am I right or wrong? I've definitely never been to India either. I've never been out of the country at all. I don't think most people have been. Winter will start from November. Rainy season is about to finish. California is very nice climate. Yeah, till February. Here we have Thanksgiving in November, and a lot of I think it's like the third Thursday in November. Might be the fourth. I'm not sure, but I would have to check my calendar. I always do, but it's a lot of times it's hot. Still hot here at that time. Seen a lot of Thanksgivings wearing summer clothes, like shorts, and short sleeves. Till February, yeah. That's through February too. We might get a little cold in March, but that's about it. And it stays pretty nice actually through May. Like nice to be outside, breezy and good temperatures in May and everything. And it starts really heating up in June. And then July and August and September is almost unbearable. It's so hot. August is the worst here. It's so hot and usually very dry too. Like right now, we haven't had rain here in a while. The ground's very dry. I had to water all my pepper plants today so they don't die. A lot of them have died. It's just, I've got some of them in raised beds, and that's not good. That raised beds, when it first came out, everybody thought that was good. And I guess it is good in some places, but it's not very good here because the beds dry out really quick and you can lose some plants really quick. Louisiana is on the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, that's right. Sure is. We get some hurricanes sometimes. That's bad. We didn't get any. We haven't had any bad hurricanes here for several years, thank goodness. I hate that when we get those things. I guess everybody does. It seems like Arkansas would have pretty good weather. How is that, Brett? How is that weather over there? North Carolina took a big hit from the latest hurricane, praying for them. Yeah, I saw that. A lot of the people I watch that are from that area, like Holler Homestead, and I don't know, there's a couple of other ones. Some of them weren't hit that bad, like True Grit Appalachia. They wasn't hit that bad. It stayed mostly to the east of them. And who else? I don't know. There's another one I watched, and she had a good video because she was like on her phone during the hurricane, and she had the big winds and the rain and everything. If I can think of it before I get off of here, I'll mention her channel. I get a blank sometimes, y'all. Arkansas weather is less humid than yours, LOL, but still humid. Well, still, that's good. AC is never required in my hometown, says SP. Only 2 to 3 months of summer hot. Well, when it is hot here, it is extremely hot. With the humidity added into it, the humidity adds a whole other level and element to the situation. Let me tell you. Now, I've had people come here from Alaska and go through our winters and say that our code was totally different than theirs, and that it was very harsh, our code. And I'm like, okay, you from Alaska, but when it's very cold here with that humidity factored into it, it's pretty bad. And the heat with the humidity is very bad too. Yes, it flooded up near us and north of us. That hurricane was tough, Michelle says. We made it unscathed, thank God, but others weren't as fortunate. Okay, I missed something Brett said. Let me scroll down a little bit. I am running AC right now, but not that hot out. 75 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. Yeah, that is nice. And SP says they don't live near the sea. So that's good too. And Brett's saying, Michelle McDaniel, I contract for a company in North Carolina. It was historic flooding from what I saw. Yeah, they said that one was a monster. It was really bad. Ooh, and poor people. I'm still trying to think of that girl's channel, yo. I hate that when I can't think of what I'm, especially when you're on a live like this and you're trying to tell somebody something and you're like, I can't remember. But it usually comes to me when I quit stressing about it, basically. This is my third set of peppers that I've done. I've done, not today, okay? I'm talking about when I can go out and pick this many. This is the third time I was able to go out and pick this many. The other ones was earlier in the year, you know, earlier in the year. Are majority of your viewers from USA? Yeah, I think so. But I do have a lot from India. I was seeing that the other day on my analytics. I don't know why, but thank you. Yes, I'm up the North Georgia, Tennessee, Carolina state lines. I think we see viewers from all over fairly consistently too, though. Awesome. Well, you're up in the corner, Michelle. Kind of like in Louisiana, in that corner, we call it Texarkana because it's part of Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. So I wonder what they call that little corner that you're talking about, that you live in. You have to combine all those states. Let's see. Georgia, Tennessee, and Carolina. Yes, I'm way up at the tippy top of Georgia. Well, I bet you see a lot of beautiful mountains and waterfalls and all that then. That is some very beautiful territory up there. I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to be able to see that. So thank you, God, for letting me see that. Some beautiful, beautiful country there. Creeks and rocks and mountains, waterfalls. It's very pretty. What about caves? Do y'all have caves there? Because, well, I know Kentucky has a lot of caves, but you're saying Tennessee. You didn't say Kentucky. But I would think that Tennessee would have some caves too. It's very similar to Arkansas. 3 hours from Texarkana. And Michelle's in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Got tons of rocks. Yes, some caves too. Diamond fields too, and crystals. Yes, caves and old mine shafts, Michelle says. Oh, that's true, because they like coal mines, is that the kind of mine shafts you're referring to? Because you say you're in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Is that considered part of Appalachia? I would think it is. And those diamond places you was talking about, Brett, my stepdaughter went up there. Her mom took her on a vacation there, and they came back with all kind of rocks with crystals like on them and stuff, and geodes, and very pretty stuff. Oh, gold mines. Wow. I bet that's scary though. I don't think that's something I'd want to go exploring in. Sounds dangerous. Like, I don't know. I just think of old mines caving in. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go in there. As a child, I might have, but as an adult, no. You know, when we were kids, we do stuff, we don't realize the danger in it and everything, but shoot. I don't think I would try it now. I really, really don't. I made a video the other day, y'all, and it's like it doesn't have any talking in it. I haven't posted it yet, but it just has me like doing my morning routine, my chores, like in the house, you know what I'm saying? Getting ready to cook, and I actually did cook that potato soup and that chili in that video. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Steady experiment with this channel, trying to get it to grow, y'all. I did a canning potatoes video, and that one did really well. Okay, wait. Somebody just said something I missed. Let me go back down. Oh, gold mines. I lived in Griffin, Georgia on High Falls Lake for a couple of years. That's what Brett said. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Ha ha ha. You might run into Yosemite Sam in the old gold mine. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not touch the phone and make it shake. Okay. Tommy and Marcus kayak through an old mine shafts that a river runs through now. Oh, that sounds kind of creepy. Is it like dark in there? Are they like kayaking in the dark? That's what I'm imagining. That sounds cool, Michelle. But if they're in the dark, I might be a little creeped out. Not Not creeped out for them, creeped out for me if I were doing it. Although that does sound like a lot of fun. As long as it's not dangerous, that it couldn't, cave in on you. You could be reassured of that. Yosemite Sam. That was the best cartoons ever. I love Looney Tunes. So dark, scary. Ooh. Yeah, I guess they have to wear them headlights and all like the miners would, huh? No, no, no. And I done seen too many documentaries on caves where they show the creepiest spiders that live in those things. Oh no. No, thank you. I'm not really creeped out by insects, and I know spiders aren't technically insects, but I am creeped out by spiders. Now, little spiders don't bother me, but big or really creepy, ugly spiders do. I went frogging that night. I'll never do that again. The snakes were everywhere, says Divine Light. Ooh, I never went frogging. Because them snakes are waiting and hunting those frogs, I bet. That's why you've seen that. Okay, I remember you drawing Yosemite Sam on my Etch-a-Sketch. Oh my God, I don't remember that, but that must have been cool. He looks so cool, she said. Now I want to do it again. Etch-a-Sketch. I don't know if you can even buy those anymore. You probably could get one on eBay, I bet. You can buy anything on eBay. You find some good old vintage stuff on eBay. That's where I got my can opener and my rice cooker and my shower head. Because the shower heads they sell nowadays are so terrible. They have that old low flow stuff. Way back when we lived in the Bay Hills. Yeah, that was a long time ago. You know that house is still there. I passed there the other day and I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, that house is still there. Your mom was talking about the one in Marksville is not there anymore. I didn't realize that, but I don't ever go down there to Spring Bayou anymore. I hadn't been back to Spring Bayou in years, like years and years. I don't know what's back there anymore. But it was pretty back there too. I love the bayou and all that. Last year, it got so bad of a drought and everything that it almost dried up. Almost all the Spring Bayou dried up, I think. This girl that's a photographer, she went out there and took some pictures of it. There was some cool pictures, but I never seen it so low back there. A lot of people have lived, I've known a lot of people that live back there, and it's very relaxed. Very relaxed. I'm getting my peppers down, y'all. I still got a bunch of them though. This is what I have cut so far. See how the size of that bone? That's what I have cut so far. And I still have all of these to go. It's ridiculous how long it takes. Dump those in there. But I'm going to have some good peppers, to cook with. And I put that in everything. All my rice and gravy and spaghetti and chili. I use a lot of onions and peppers when I cook, and garlic. Mr. E's garlic did good this year too. That's I told him, I said, that's some of the prettiest homegrown garlic I've ever seen, because the cloves held together and they were tight and they were hard. He planted some more today out of it. He said, I hate to put them in the ground, but he has a bunch of them. That's something else that's good to cook with and is also expensive. So if you can grow it, the peppers and the garlic, all that's good. But the onions, like the big onions that I like to use to cook with, we cannot grow those. We've tried to grow them so many times. All we can grow is those basically green onions. But some of them have bigger heads on them, and you can use that to cook with. I used some the other day, and they was equally strong. They made me cry. Sometimes those onions will make you cry. Look at all her beautiful things. She goes, thanks, Michelle. You have so many beautiful peppers. I do. I have a lot of peppers here. I didn't even realize I had that many until I got out there and I started watering them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll have to pick these to lighten up the plants. I love the blooms from the garlic. I know, they're so pretty. I have some garlic chives. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they grow like green onions, but the leaves on them are flat. They're not circular. And they smell like garlic and they smell like onions. So they go very good chopped up like on a baked potato. And they make some really pretty flowers too when they bloom. And that stuff is so easy to grow. I think Tina had gave me that. And it just been growing and growing in the garden ever since. I've never had to replant it or pick it up for the winter. It just stays out there and it just keeps on growing and growing. It's neat stuff. You'll have to send me your address on your email or whatever, or a text, and maybe I could send you some of them if you're interested in that, because you can mail stuff like that, the little bulbs from the little garlics I was telling you about. That would be cool. Yes, it would. So what are you doing this evening, Michelle? How's the puppies doing? Last time I talked to you, you said your dog had 2 or 3 puppies, and I never did hear how they was doing. Or how's the mom doing? I hope I don't lose my comments. Sometimes when I do these, I lose my comments. And then I'm like, where'd all my people go? This one don't want to cut, y'all. It's like a piece of rubber. All right, get in there. But some of them was kind of wilted because I don't know if y'all remember me saying, but some of my plants was dying. They was so wilted, and that's a shame, huh? But anyway, some of them they was wilted and dying, and I just took the peppers off of them, and those were kind of rubbery like, but I saved them anyway. You see, I'm not seeing any comments. I don't know if it's because y'all just not commenting or they're not coming through. The last comment I see is, I love the blooms from the garlic, from Michelle. But that's okay. And you know, I'm using my Wi-Fi. I'm not using my other internet that's more reliable and dependable. I just hate to use it because it costs me to use that one after I use so much of it. Because I only buy a little bit of internet for my phone. I buy the least amount. It's like the required amount. Because used to they wouldn't make you buy internet for your phones, and I never did either. And now you have to buy it because of these smartphones or whatever. So ridiculous. So when I do use it, I'll just use it in the stores. So like if I go to the store and I'm looking at prices or trying to get a phone number while I'm out and about, then I'll turn that internet on and I'll use it for that. Otherwise, it's turned off and I'm using just Wi-Fi at my house. And basically, I don't hardly use that either because, I mean, I have a computer and I'll just go to it. It's so much easier to type in whatever you're looking for on the computer. I'm mixing all of these together. It's not going to be a bag of just bell peppers or just banana peppers. It's going to be all mixed together, the jalapenos and everything. And that's actually more flavorful when you're cooking. So I'm all for less steps. You know what I'm saying? Less steps as possible is the best to me. Because look how long I'm having to do this anyways. I don't want to have to be in here all night. When I get through with this, I have some okra over there, but I don't think I'm going to get into cutting that today. I think I'm going to go to my potato shed and clean up in there. Like, I have some potatoes that are bad. I think I'm going to get those out. I'm going to get a container and get all of them that are bad out of there. And throw those to the chickens. The chickens get a lot of scraps around here from waste like that, you know. Those chickens eat pretty good just off of what I'm throwing out. Okay, here comes another. I didn't lose them because I just got another one from Michelle. It says, I like them mixed as well. I feel like it's a more well-rounded flavor. It is. I think so too. And I used to make some where I would put them through the food processor real little and put them in jars and put vinegar and salt in them, like to eat on rice and gravy or gumbo. And it was very good like that mixed too. I remember Chad telling me, that was my nephew, he said that was the best ones he ever ate. And they were all mixed like that. Oh yeah. I know. That's what I really like in my gumbo is the peppers with the vinegar in them. I don't really like the filet that much. Mom and Daddy used to always get that filet. They would go to Gorham and they would get that, they'd find those sassafras trees. And like right now you can find them pretty easy because they have very, very red leaves on them right now. I want to go and find some just like for nostalgia and get me some filet. I know that's crazy if I don't eat it, right? But hey, somebody might. Ever make pepper jelly? No, I don't think so. No, never made pepper jelly. You? I want to say that you did make pepper jelly because it seems like Grandma told me about it. That you had gave her a jar of it, I want to say. And I know of people who do eat it. They'll like make it and they'll get some cream cheese and serve it like an appetizer. They'll put like the cream cheese on a saucer and then they'll open that pepper jelly and put it on top of it, I think. And then you just get some of that off and eat it on crackers. I've eaten it like that before, and it's good. Oh yes, I love pepper jelly on cream cheese with crackers. Uh-huh. What I just said. Well, I need to make some, Michelle. That would be a good video. And I'm sure the recipe's on the internet, right? And then I would have me some pepper jelly to go with my supplies, my other canning stuff. It's nice to have a little variety. You got to have a little variety of stuff at home, you know? It's like your little grocery store at home when you can stuff and put things away, or when you dry things. Like this is something that I put away. I don't know if y'all can see this, but these are dried persimmons. They're very good. They're like candy. There's nothing else on them. They're just sliced very thin and put through a dehydrator. And they are very, very, very good. Very good. So I would suggest, you know, if you can get some persimmons, the hard ones, the kind that you can eat when they're hard, because they have the kind that you can only eat when they're very soft and mushy, but they also have the kind that you can eat when they're hard, and that's what these are. My mother-in-law grows them, and she had given me a bunch of them, and she had given me so many of them I didn't know what, and so I tried that, and I was very well pleased with the turnout. And they keep them a long time, because I probably made that like 2 years ago, and they're still good. They never molded on me in the jar, anything like that. That pepper jelly is good on a Mexican cornbread or a plain cornbread. I love cornbread. I have to try that. We just finished off a cornbread in here today with that chili. You know, I had made chili and potato soup. We made all kinds of stuff, y'all. We must have went crazy. I had this hamburger, Errol had picked up this hamburger helper at Walmart the other day, and it was called Taco Hamburger Helper, something along those lines. And I had never tried that one before, and he had just wanted to make it with the chili and stuff that I was making. And I said, well, taco one sounds like it would go good with that. So idiot, we got home and we started looking at the package a little bit better, and we realized that it had rice in it instead of noodles. So that kind of threw us for a loop. We was like, oh wait, this has rice, not noodles, because all the hamburger helper I've ever gotten before had noodles in it. I like to make a Mexican cornbread with homemade sausage instead of ground beef. I bet that is good, because it has that smoke flavor. I bet that would be good. Now you see, the Mexican cornbread that my sister-in-law makes doesn't have meat in it. I don't know if I've ever eaten a Mexican cornbread that had meat in it, but that sure sounds good. That's like a whole meal. She always puts corn, style corn in her Mexican cornbread. And I want to say cheese too. She may put something else like sour cream. I'm not really sure. And I don't ever make that. And I love it. When she makes it, oh my gosh, I love it. It's comfort food for sure. There's just so many things you can cook, y'all. It's crazy. And then when you start talking with a foodie, you know, somebody who really loves food and loves to cook like Michelle, you start getting all kind of different ideas. Because even though I cook a lot, I mainly cook the same stuff all the time. I try to get out of it. And then when I do try something different, I really like it, usually. And cook that all the time. And then we go forever before we ever cook it again. Kind of crazy, huh? The smoke makes it so good. Yeah, I bet it does. You see that pizza I had made the other day? I used smoked sausage on it instead of pepperoni, you know? And that was so good. Oh my gosh. That was terrific. If you like Canadian bacon on your pizza, you would like that smoked sausage on your pizza too, because it's kind of the same. And we used to get Canadian bacon with pineapple on our pizzas when we would buy them at, say, Pizza Hut years ago. And we like that combination. And when I made this pizza, I didn't put any pineapple on it. So I told Errol, I said, next time I make it, we're putting some pineapple on it. And I'm not talking about no big chunks of pineapple, just some little tidbits, not the big tidbits, the small ones. And it was so good, y'all. And with that homemade bread, oh my gosh. I wrote the recipe down. You see, that's the first time that I had made that like that, and it came out real good. So I wrote down so that when I do make it again, I'll remember how to make it, remember what I had put in it, so it'll come out like it did that time. So many times we make stuff and we don't write it down. Dog's barking. Just to ease back from his little evening trip to the woods. He went go do something with a deer stand, clean it out. Because you know rats building those deer stands and all that during the summertime. Just different things. They rot over time. You gotta do maintenance on them just like anything else, really. I like to use the frozen bread dough as crust for my pizza. It makes like a pan pizza. I bet it does. It's just like making your own dough. I mean, that's what I did. It was the same thing. Like you said, you could buy the dough already made frozen and just thaw it out. I just didn't have any, so I made it. And I kind of like making bread. It's something about it is relaxing. I don't know why. And I've heard other people say that too. But it is. It's relaxing. I don't know why. So I'm not fooling with the dough. And it just smells so good. Even the dough smells good to me before it's even baked. So that's why I was kind of excited, you know, to do the tortillas. Because I would get to fool with that dough and make me some little breads. Starting to see the bottom of the pan a little bit. You see, when Mr. E left, I was doing this, and he done went and did his whole project, and now he's back. And I'm still putting on these things. You got to get brave, y'all, when you're doing this, because it takes some time. Oh, Mr. E, yeah? You want to tell them hi? Or not really? Y'all got to see his hand.
Hey, everybody.
Well, I guess that was it. Smells can unlock core memories. Yeah, they can. I feel like I can smell those peppers right now. Oh, wow. I know what you mean. I know. Sometimes I think about when Mom and Daddy used to make pimentade and how that smelled too. It's like I can just think about it and remember how it smelled. Because they would boil the peppers first. They would boil them, and then they would put them through a little hand grinder, and then they would cook them with the eggs. So they wouldn't just use pepper fresh like this. They would boil it first, they would cook it, and then they would grind it. And I always wondered, why did they do that? And the only thing I guess they probably had a better reason than what I'm thinking of, but I'm thinking it was probably very hot pepper, and that was a way to decrease the heat in it. Because, I mean, just think, if it's the Depression, you have just some hot pepper plants, you can't feed just hot peppers to your kids. There's nutritional value in it, but you got to be able to take that heat level down. And what better way than to boil them and then to mix them with eggs? Discard that water that they're boiled in. I bet you that does take the heat level down, especially after you mix them with the eggs. I know it does. Hi, Uncle E. That pimentade fumes. Yeah, you'll be choking. Yeah, exactly. If I make that, I'm going to be coughing and I want to make some though. To go to Mama's and do it. Well, she really don't need to be exposed to that. She got bronchitis. It might clear it up. Might do her some good. Clear them sinuses. Oh, that was kind of loud. Sorry. Yeah, I've been wanting to get in that potato shed, y'all, and go through all them potatoes and get rid of the bad ones. And I want to spray in there too. When you store food like that, you need to spray for insects. I have some of that Home Defense. You can buy it at Walmart. It works good. Very good. That pimentade fumes. Yes, it does. Anytime I'm cooking with pepper in here, really hot pepper, it like chokes me. So hot. Good way to clean out those sinuses though, huh? It'll clear them out. I've been kind of waiting to do that chore I was telling you about with the potatoes, like on a cool morning because inside that shed there's no breeze. I could bring a fan, but I don't know. I've just been waiting for a cooler morning. The mornings have been cool here actually. It's just like you try to do all your hot chores in the morning, and then like right now it's hot out there. So then the morning only lasts so long, right? And I have some firewood I need to stack. So that's kind of one of those things I've been wanting to do in the morning also. I stacked some of it the other day in the evening, but it was like stifling hot out there. And then the other thing is to keep that firewood from falling over. I've got a good bit of it I had this one stubborn paw. Every time we would stack it, it would fall over. It fell over, I think, 2 or 3 times. I guess we just had it stacked too high, or the ends wasn't right. I don't know. So now it kind of freaked me out. I'm scared to stack it now. But I'm still going to have to do it. Mr. Eel split it with that splitter. We was lucky we had access to wood easily this year to get. It's not always like that. Sometimes you really got to struggle to get some firewood. I know a lot of people buy firewood. I haven't bought firewood. We really don't buy firewood. We usually just find some down trees or somebody that wants some wood cleaned up in their yard and will get it. Sometimes even in the woods you'll find a tree that's down that you can get. But a neighbor of ours had some logging done, and so he had a bunch of it, and it was easy to get to because when they log, they clear all that out, and it's got roads and paths through it, and a lot of it's already cut. You just have to get in there with your chainsaw and cut some blocks. And so we was lucky to get it like that this year. Well, I'm getting about to the end, guys. I'm glad y'all came on with me and talked to me. I hope y'all give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. My hands are sweating inside these gloves. Yep. Okay. So I'm ready to take a break from this. I'm glad y'all all came. It was so good to see y'all. Yes, I remember riding with Grandpa and Chad just on the lookout for down trees. Yes. I love that. That was so fun to go do that. That was a lot of fun. I really missed that a lot. I remember the smell of that firewood too, like you were saying. When you cut it, you can smell it. It has a good smell. I like that. It brings back memories, like you said. Anyway, I hope y'all give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Trying to grow this channel. And I hope y'all will turn your notifications on because I like doing these kind of lives when they're not actually scheduled. So you never know when I'll do one. But y'all have a good evening. Thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate it. I enjoyed the visit. It's very nice. And until next time, bye. Y'all take care of each other now. You hear? Let me see if I can figure out how to turn this thing off.